It's too hot for this.
It's not weird at all. I'm Jonathan.
This is Chris.
I'm with Nomadic.
And I'm with Dometic.
Guys, if you want to go further in comfort with 12-volt RTX 2000, follow along to this install video as we install this cold air technology on this Freightliner
Coronado
here in Fresno, California. Let's go further in comfort together. Let's go. You were supposed to clap.
We're going to drill a hole in the roof. It's going to mark the center point location of our hole that we're going to end up cutting a bigger hole in the roof. But it's mostly just a gut check. Considering the size of our roof template and the hole we're going to be cutting, we've got some room where we can drill holes in the top of the roof to make sure where we want this unit. And it's also going to help us locate this roof template on the inside for the headliner so we can trim that up and make that look nice and tidy since it's got a pretty nice looking interior. Rivet over there to this rivet here, 59. So we know we're in the approximate region of center based off of that rivet. All right, so once you pop that hole through the top of the roof and it's down through the headliner, grab yourself a nice long screwdriver. You can slip that down through, and then you can take that roof window template with the hole in the middle of it and bring that into the inside of the headliner. And this is actually going to be the area you cut out for the headliner. And this is going to give you good visibility for when you're cutting the roof and cutting that section out. Give you a good visibility as to where it's going to be. If you need to adjust it at all, like in this case, we're right on the edge of these roof liner fasteners. Probably going to push this forward an inch just to get off of those. But since it's a small hole and we're cutting a much larger hole, moving it an inch forward, that hole is going to end up getting cut out. So it's not really a big deal if you need to move it in small increments. So we've got our hole cut. Next step's going to be to take the power cable. We're going to run that in the interstitial space between the headliner and the outer wall of the truck. We're going to be going down the driver's side at the far back corner because we can pull off this entire panel. We'll run that all the way down. We'll drill a hole in the floor, and then that cable will pop out and run over to the battery box. All right, so we got our power cable run coming up through above the headliner, coming across, coming down behind this panel over here. This was the trim panel that was there. We removed it so we could pull the cable easier. And that runs down through. We've got a hole in the floor over here, and it's dropping down on the cab on this far back driver's side. And that's going to be run underneath the cab over to the battery box. Next step, we're going to be coming up on top of the roof, cleaning up the surface, prepping that for the gasket, and laying that gasket down. All right, we're on top of the roof. We're going to get this all cleaned up because it's pretty dirty. So we're going to start with a little glass cleaner just to get most of the grime. And then we're going to come back with a little bit of alcohol, really prep the surface. Be careful around the edges because they can be sharp depending on how you cut it. We've got our isopropyl alcohol. We're going to clean the whole area up and then start laying the gasket down. We're going to start in the back. That's where our seam's going to be. Got the gasket cut at a 45. I'm just going to peel it back a little bit at a time, making sure we're nice and straight. Can pull it up if you need to. It's not great for it, but if you got to reposition it, definitely you want to make sure it's in the right position rather than the wrong position. We're using the taller gasket for this application. Give us a little bit of height. Give us a nice clean flush look on the inside. All right, we're gonna make a cut in the gasket to mate up. So we got this cut here, just give it a nice matching angle. All right, our gasket is laid, and next we're gonna run a bead of RTV silicone all the way around and also get it inside this gap here. Make sure that's all sealed up. Highly recommend gloves for this. RTV can be pretty nasty stuff, getting it on you and trying to get it off. Not bad, Kenny. Managed to not make a complete mess of it. All right, so we're back on the ground. We've got the RTX flipped upside down briefly while we install the brass fasteners. These are gonna go in holes 6 and 7 for this application. So 6 is the larger one. That's gonna be our mounting bolts that attach the installation bars. Those are gonna go here. And then we're gonna have these smaller M6 threaded plugs, and these are for the shroud that's gonna end up covering everything and making it look real nice inside. All right, so a little pro tip to help you line up these brass fasteners. I grabbed a 16mm socket, shallow well. I'm gonna set that right over the top of it. It's gonna allow me to kind of hold this square, so I'm not holding that tiny little brass fastener. And it's also gonna allow me to apply down pressure with this long of a bit here. I'm gonna end up bottoming out, and I can't get any pressure to kind of get those threads to bite. So if you use a shallow well 16mm socket, you can press down on it and allow you to get that started. Get close. Once it's good and going, you can pull the socket up so you can watch the threads, so you know when you're getting pretty close. Might have to pull that off now. So then we're just gonna wait until she gets flush.
You're probably have to sweat.
I can't wait till we get this thing turned on, because it is getting hot in here. All right, so we got the unit lowered into the hole. Nothing's tightened down yet. That's the next part. We've got our power cable. We'll leave this disconnected for now. We'll get our bolts and support bars all rearranged, lined up, and then tighten everything down. And then just go back up, take a look at the seal, make sure everything's looking good up there. And then it'll be time to connect power at the unit, and we'll make the battery connection after that. All right, occasionally you may find that the supplied bolts are a little bit too short. This really mostly happens when you have a thicker roof, which we do have, probably an inch, inch and a half thick roof, plus we're using the taller gasket. All that added up, plus our installation bars, we're about a ½ inch too short. You can source a different bolt. This is a grade 8.8, M8 by 1 1/4, about a ½ inch longer, and we're gonna be all set to go on all 4 of these bolts here. So, all right, so our power cable is running over the top of the headliner, down this back driver's side corner. We popped it out down here. We've got a nice body grommet in here protecting the cable. We've got P-clamps running it along the bottom of the frame. And then we come in here to the battery box, and we've got our cables hooked up. And then what I want to point out is we've got our 80 amp fuse in line with the positive cable. That's for our main 4-gauge wire running up to the unit. And then we've got our voltage sensing line, and that's got the 2 amp fuse, and that's right here, zip tied down and nice and secure. And that's on the positive line of the small wire, and that's for the voltage sensing line. So that voltage sensing line is gonna monitor the battery voltage, and then at the specified cutoff, which is programmable on the RTX 2000, it'll shut the unit down to keep you from draining your batteries, because this battery bank here is for starting the truck. We wanna make sure after a full night's sleep that you're able to get up and start the truck and get on your way.
I'm Jonathan with Nomadic Cooling.
And I'm Chris Rine from Dometic, and we just wrapped up the install of this RTX 2000 on this 2015 Freightline Coronado. So we've got everything installed, our fascia's on, our corner panel's back on over here. She's blowing cold air. We've got our voltage cutoff set at 12.0 volts, so that way we can make sure the vehicle will start after sleeping all night.
I would say the most important thing for customers to know out there is this is designed to save them money.
Oh yeah.
This is a money-saving tool. It's a small investment up front for the air conditioner and the install, but what they're not burning is
fuel. That's
fuel.
$6 a gallon.
That's $6 a gallon.
6 plus.
It's 105 degrees today in Fresno.
Yeah.
Okay. In here, it's not bad.
No, this is
great.
comfortable.
Yeah, this is very comfortable. So guys, if you want to learn more about this cold air technology, do me a favor, head over to nomadicCooling.com today or over to Dometic's website, and we can ship you out an RTX 2000 within 1 to 2 days, shipped direct to your door or to your favorite mechanic so they can install it for you. Kenny, I would really like to just take a moment and survey the scene for you, explain to you exactly what's going on. It's the beginning of August. It's 107 degrees. We are in the middle of California in a place called Fresno. This is not San Diego. Okay, this is not, I don't know, what, Santa Barbara. We're in Fresno. 107 degrees outside. Of all the weeks throughout the year, I believe that there's 52 of them. Teresa picked this week to shoot a video. And she told me, John, don't worry, come on down here. The place you're gonna be doing the install is air conditioned. I said, fully air conditioned? She said, fully air conditioned. Take a look around, no air conditioning here. Zero air conditioning. What they have is they have air moving, but they have no cold air technology to speak of here. She told me that there would be a trailer, a craft service, accoutrements, there would be hair, makeup.
We are not in comfort today.
We're definitely not in comfort.
Yeah.
Hey, boo Teresa. Hey guys, by the way, she told me there would be air conditioning in this building. This lady right here.
She didn't lie, it's right there.
But guys, just remember, if you want to go further in comfort, don't go on a photo shoot with Teresa from Dometic. That's what I always say. Let's go further.